Okay, man, are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go. Now, come on, now crank this motherfucker up.
Break it down like this.
Hello, Internet. Gino, Gino here again with another episode of Deep Listens, and today it's time to get weird again. It's been too long since we've played a weird game. We've played too many games that are normal and fun. We need something uncomfortable, and so this time we've played Bugsnax, which is certainly a game about eating weird moving bug food. It'll be fine. I'm sure it's fine. Everything's fine. Welcome to the podcast about Bugsnax. You are what you eat. I am joined, speaking of off-putting animals, I am joined, as always, by Pete Busby. Hello, Pete.
Hey, what's going on? Bugsnax. Gino, you're right. One of the strangest games we might have ever played in a podcast full of very, very strange games. In honor of that, this week's fun fact is again a rare, actually fun one. I know. Woo! So this one is about the National Accelerator Laboratory. So this was around back in the 1960s. They built this accelerator. It was $250 million, and it was a stainless steel tube miles long where they slammed particles together. You can think of it as sort of the precursor to the Large Hadron Collider. But they noticed a problem. The tubes, they were blocked.
Oh, no.
I know, the particles weren't getting through. So the solution they devised was to send a ferret. They took a ferret and sent it through the 4-mile tubes of the long collider to try to knock the blockage loose, whatever the ferret found. But they had another problem then, is they couldn't have the ferret going to the bathroom in the collider. It would have messed it up on its own. So they had to put the ferret in a diaper to salvage this $250 million project at the National Accelerator Laboratory. They used a diapered ferret to try to uncover the problem. Ultimately, it wasn't a blockage. It was some sort of misalignment. So the ferret didn't solve it, but all things considered, very good showing from the ferret.
It shows the ingenuity of the human spirit that they were like, how do we solve this problem? I got it. Diaper ferret. I also want to know what other animals were floated. Because ostensibly it could be any animal smaller than that diameter of the tube, right?
Yeah. So the reason they went ferrets is for two reasons, right? One, ferrets are very good at tunnels. They're used to hunt rats and rodents and things in tunnels.
Yes.
And two, they're pretty easy to train, apparently. They like food. So they went ferret. Okay. It was also, the ferret only cost $35. So
the budget.
Yeah.
See, that's some government work right there.
Mm-hmm.
Was the ferret well compensated for the manual labor?
I do know the ferret received many treats.
That's
can't
good.
say anything beyond that.
Good. I'm glad the ferret received many treats. I just imagine someone just like, what about a stoat? Shut up, Larry. We're not using a fucking stoat.
It's we're a minx. Larry, come on. We don't have minx money. Be realistic.
No. Ferret. Someone go to the dollar store, get a ferret. It's the 70s. That's $1, I bet. That other voice you've heard earlier is the Mistress of Games, M. Palladino. Hello, M.
Hello. I'm once again emerging from my Final Fantasy cave. I finished the new expansion, and I'm not going to spoil anything because someday, we will play it. But
Someday.
That game went hard. So hard that a lot of people can't play it because they're not selling it anymore.
Yeah.
And
if you'd like
the
to play this
servers
game,
can't handle the ones that are playing it. So
if you'd like to play this game, kindly fuck off.
kindly play something else. Final Fantasy XI is still kicking. Play that one for a little bit.
If you like Final Fantasy XIV, maybe you should try Final Fantasy XI. Learn how good you have it.
something that will put you off of the entire MMO genre for until you get to play Final Fantasy XIV.
If
Yep,
you like
that's-
baseball, try getting hit with a stick. It's basically the same. All right. Well, before we get to Bugsnax, we have our usual bookkeeping. A reminder, you can get in touch with the podcast at DeepListensPod on Twitter, deeplistens.libsyn.com. We have our comment sections and deeplistenspodcast@gmail.com. You can also support the show on patreon.com/deeplistens. If you were to do so, you would get access to our Discord. We also have some challenges that appear to be coming up from the off the deep end crew. I believe if we break $100 in the Patreon, there were multiple incentives that Jeff and ZP have floated. They're taking requests now for games to play on Off the Deep End from patrons. So patrons get in there. If you patronize, you can assign the Off the Deep End crew. You can assign the B team to run out on whatever planet you want.
It can't be any worse than what they have picked for themselves.
That's
Let's
true.
Put it that way. You will be doing them a favor if you pick something okay.
And I believe if we hit $100 a month, Jeff said that he would do a karaoke song of whatever you want, dressed however you want. I think it might have had to have been a game-focused song.
What's Jeff's singing ability like? I've never heard Jeff sing.
It's there.
Okay, that's good. It's better
Present.
than mine.
I've seen him cosplay. I can't attest to his willingness to do cosplay stuff. Singing voice, I mean, he was in a rock band, though I don't believe he was the singer.
Like a band that plays rock band?
Regularly, like they were highly
Gotcha.
rated, highly ranked in the rock band community.
I'll ask him to rate himself on a scale of 1 to 10. We'll
Yes.
see if he answers in the span of this recording.
And there was another incentive for if people hit 30, if we hit 30 patrons, 30 total patrons, which you only have to patronize for $1. So that one's attainable. I can't remember off the top of my head what the 30 patron goal was, but I assume it involves them playing something bad. So go ahead, support the show. And if you were to support the show, on top of that, you would be able to go into the Discord, and then you'd be on the Discord report.
The Discord report. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. This week on the Discord report, the game of the year is still on the way.
It is.
We have been ramping up for the biggest game of the year this year.
The one we've done.
Yeah, ours. The only one you should listen to.
That's true. No other game of the years have such categories as biggest disrespect of players' time, or worst story and or written dialogue, or help I'm trapped in Sisyphean torment award.
We gotta decide what that actually means, I think.
Well, that one's ZP's award. He can decide what it means.
Gotcha. What else is going on?
Let's see. So other things going on in the Discord. The Sacramento Kings continue to be bad, so if you want to hear just about every darn day ZP's torture about the Sacramento Kings, you can. There is some discussion of underrated anime going on in the TV channel.
Underrated anime such as Attack on Titan, Dragon Ball Z, My Neighbor Totoro,
Underrated all.
Naruto, Bleach, the ones no one has ever watched.
Yeah, the ones that people need to give more credit for.
Mm-hmm.
And there's lots of FF6 discussion going on because those podcasts are coming. They should be out soon. A couple of FF6 podcasts.
And if you like seeing ZP in pain, one of them is going to be the one for you.
Oh boy, might I say, our second Final Fantasy VI podcast is a doozy because it was Christmas season.
Mm-hmm.
And
you gave a gift.
In the spirit of giving. Did you listen to that, Em?
Not yet,
okay.
But I'm going to.
You have access to the files.
I
yes.
do.
A Christmas,
I'll see how bad it is.
A Christmas feast. Roast beast.
I feel like having it at the beginning of the podcast might do it a disservice. I feel like we gotta hype it up and then put it like at the end.
No,
So
you
there's
gotta
something for people to wait for, you know?
No, you can't hide it behind 2 hours of FF6. You gotta give people the hook. You gotta get the hook in their mouth, and then sometimes they leave the podcast running after that.
Fair enough.
Well, that's what's going on in the Discord right now. We also have my usual feature, my obsession of the week, and this week, my obsession is with The Witcher, the television show.
Yeah. New season dropped.
Yes, new season dropped. I watched it. Henry Cavill, still very handsome. Still, his pants are so tight all the
They
time.
are.
It's just very funny. Like, it can't be comfortable. But, you know, he's
It's
witching.
not like they had like spandex fabric.
No.
Like the time of The Witcher. It's like burlap.
Here's leather. Just sticky, tight leather. But, this season, quite good. I watched it all. I will say I enjoyed the first episode the most because, like in the first season, the episodes where it's just like tight and neat and tells a like witchery story about a monster or something, and Geralt's got to figure out how to kill a thing, those tend to be my favorite ones. And the ones that are focused on the central plot, I like them, but I don't like them as much. Definitely.
I think I'm like 5 or 6 episodes in, so I'm in the plot part.
Yes.
It's fine.
I
It's
haven't
okay.
started, but I intend to.
You should.
Have
I
you
watched the first season.
What'd you think of the first season?
I liked it. Very confusing, but
Yes.
I got past that.
One of the articles I read was like Henry Cavill knows that season 1 was very confusing, and good news, it's not going to be like that for season 2.
Did they hold up that promise?
Yeah.
I think so.
Nice.
There's less jumping of locations without warning. There's
Good.
less.
My roommate in the background
shenanigans.
is saying that it was not that confusing. Okay, but it's probably because he read the books and or played the games.
There are
Yeah, I
books?
mean, as someone who had played one of the Witcher games, I at least knew names and like what characters' general deals were. Whereas if you did not play the games, you're kind of just like, well, who are these people? What are they? What's their deal?
happening?
What's happening? Who are you?
Why is this character a baby when we've seen her as an adult?
Yeah, time jumps backwards and forwards a lot in the original.
We've very much seen her as an adult.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, they don't do as much time hopping in the second season. They also do more signposting to let you know what the hell's going on, who people are, what their motivations are. And they just introduce, like, they get to reuse the characters that they've already introduced, so you don't have to go through and explain who they are quite so much anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah, so check it out if you're into the games, if you're into the books, if you're just looking for a Game of Thrones-esque show where the characters are generally people you could root for. Generally, I would say the main characters. Yeah, so check it out. It's on Netflix. All right, without further ado, it's time to talk about Bugsnax. I picked this game. I'll explain it as best I
Yeah,
can.
Gino,
this time.
explain it. Yeah, tell us.
What is
exactly-
Bugsnax?
Yeah, what is it?
I'll explain my mistake. Bugsnax. It is a game by Young Horses, the makers of Octodad, Dadliest Catch. It is a kind of Pokemon Snap / Viva Pinata / body horror game. Also kind of like an adventure game. But the main conceit here is you are, I think, an unnamed journalist. I don't think they ever give you a name. And you have been sent a tip from a famed explorer. What is Lisbert Megafig. She's a Grumpus. All of the characters in this game that speak are Grumpuses.
Grumpi?
Yeah, think of them. They look like, I don't know, Muppets, pretty much. Lisbert Megafig and her crew of intrepid explorers have arrived on Snacktooth Island, which is an island populated with a type of creature known as a Bugsnax. They are snacks of all kinds that have googly eyes and walk around and seem to be alive.
Gino, I wanted to ask you something.
Yes.
While you're describing Bugsnax.
Yes.
Are Bugsnax vegetarian? Let's rephrase. Bugsnax obviously aren't. Are the non-meat based Bugsnax vegetarian?
No.
Well, hold on. Here's the thing about the meat-based Bugsnax.
Yes.
You feed it to someone, and then she's like, it looks like there's a bone, but it's actually not a bone.
Yes.
But also, I don't think it's vegetarian either way, because they do have eyes.
They all have eyes.
So do potatoes.
They seem to feel pain.
Do they? Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. You can hit them with sauce, and they do react.
They
Fair.
do not like it. Yeah, so I would say none of them are vegetarian. The ones that look like they are fruit are not vegetarian. The ones that look like they are meat are not vegetarian. The ones that look like they are somehow a bag of chips, not vegetarian. So yeah, the premise of the game is you've arrived on Snacktooth Island to find Lizbert and her crew, and things have gone awry on Snacktooth Island. And so our intrepid journalist seeks out to interview every member of Lizbert's team and find Lizbert because she's gone missing. So, Pete, what was your first impression of Bugsnax? I think both of you came to this with little to no knowledge of what this was.
Yeah, pretty much. It's very confusing, right? Because it's like a cartoon Muppet world. So it seems like, this is for ages 4 and up.
Yeah.
But then you start to, it does. But then you start to notice, the first sign to me that something was off was when I found out that there were a lot of marital problems going on the island. And I was like, this seems heavy that like the farmer and his wife have split up potentially for this children's game, I'm assuming.
You mean the second character you meet having marital trouble where he's created a cactus wife that he lives with in his home?
I found it a little confusing, a little dissonant with the tone.
Yeah, the tone's a little all over the place. I also came to that conclusion. It's like there's a character who is fleeing from the wiki, quote, fleeing some disastrous social or political fallout, exposed someone's petty crimes, and then hid in a cave. Who else? Let's see. Who's really weird?
There's basically who's the Nazi doctor?
Floofty?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Basically
That's
performing.
what I was trying to figure out.
Performing
Floofty Fizzlebean?
horrible experiments on non-consenting patients, and also a cannibal, apparently.
Yep.
But there's also Floofty's brother, Snorpy Fizzlebean, who's fleeing the Grumpinati, who are spying on him through the fillings in his teeth.
Those aren't real, are they?
Clearly no.
Well, you turn his teeth into Oreos, so it's a moot point, really.
So that raises the teeth into Oreos. I think raises the first point. In this game, so the main gameplay is finding and capturing these Bugsnax and feeding them to your friends. And Filbo, what is Filbo's last name? Filbo Fiddlepie, the first person you meet in the game. He is the
Another
mayor.
heartbreaking character.
Yeah, he's the mayor of Snackburg, and he can't feed himself because he's shit at catching Bugsnax, and so he's dying of hunger when you find him, and you need to catch him some food. He asks you to catch him 3 Bugsnax, and when you feed him the first one, it turns his arm into a series of strawberries. That's one of the first interactions you have in this game.
Yep. And
he's
you're like, why did that happen?
And he's like, don't worry about it.
That just happens.
It's cool. Please feed me more.
I would like more of them, please.
So by the time you're done with your very first mission, you've turned Filbo's arms into strawberries, and I also turned his leg into a carrot, like a peg leg.
Yeah. That's what happens when you eat Bugsnax.
Yeah, so the Bugsnax, each Bugsnax, you get basically like a scanner, a la a Pokemon Snap or a Viva Pinata, and this scanner lets you know, okay, this is the Bugsnax name, here's its pattern of movement, and it'll also tell you what it likes and dislikes. So some of them like sauces, some of them dislike other Bugsnax. They have their own behaviors, and your goal is to capture them in little cages, and then feed them to your friends, or you can donate. You eventually get the ability to donate them to a ranch upstate where they can run around. They got a lot of room to run around. So the main loop here is capturing Bugsnax and then also doing tasks to try to get everyone to move back to Snackburg, because everyone abandoned Snackburg after an earthquake when Lizbert went missing. So there are a series of Grumpuses that we meet. Who was everyone's favorite Grumpus?
Wiggle?
Oh, really?
Wiggle Bottom? I liked her just because she's always singing. And also, who else would I pick?
She invented Banjo Pop.
Yeah.
Who's the swole Grumpus?
Oh, yeah. Chandlo.
Chandlo,
he's the best.
He's a swole Grumpus with a heart of gold.
Chandlo Funk Bun.
Yep, sticks by his man, which is admirable. I support that. Chandlo's probably my favorite.
Voiced by Yuri Lowenthal.
Yeah, this game has a quite good cast.
Beffica is also the best.
Yeah, she's your bestie.
Yeah, she's very, she's good. You just gotta meet her.
She spies on everyone and
yeah.
Tells you their secrets behind their backs.
Yep.
But for good? Mostly?
Maybe.
Somewhat?
Sort of.
Did y'all try to steal her journal?
Yes. I think you just grab it later on, right?
You can. After she abandons her cave where she's living, you can steal her journal, and if you steal it, she goes, "Oh, did you really think I would leave my real journal lying around, you idiot?"
Mm-hmm.
Can we do least favorite Grumpus?
Yes.
Yes.
Mine's the shady sales Grumpus.
Cromdo?
You don't like Cromdo?
Cromdo face?
A weird sort of get rich quick, nefarious salesman.
Yeah, I hate that his tie is Bugsnax eyes. That's its pattern.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
I hate it.
Damn, where did he even get that?
I don't know, but I hate it.
I assume.
I was not a fan of Shelda, who is like
the hippie.
Yep.
Yeah, she's like a yogi or something. She goes out into the wilderness to like get zen and is all uppity about the fact that everyone is getting consumed by Bugsnax or consuming Bugsnax and thereby getting consumed by them.
She says they're full of toxins.
Yep.
But in a like I love crystals sort of way that makes you think she's full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
I hated Floofty because he experiments on other Grumpuses against their will.
You know what? That's a good point. I might have to change my answer. I forgot that there was a shifty Nazi doctor among our Grumpuses.
Yeah. Cromdo, I mean, he's very off-putting. He does make you turn his legs into popsicles so that he'll give you a bridge to the next location. Mm-hmm. But I would say the Nazi doctor who allows you to, like, determine which legs and limbs you want to transform, he's probably the worst. So, like, the loops of this game, you know, there's trying to find each of these Grumpuses and convince them to come. And then there's also the hunting of the Bugsnax. What was your favorite Bugsnax, and what was your favorite like interaction with them? Because similar to like a Pokemon Snap, there's a lot of like, well, I need to throw the apple at the Charmander to knock it into the lava, which makes it turn into a Charmeleon, or this, you know, I mean, I guess in Viva Pinata it'd be like this pinata likes to eat this other type of pinata, so I need to attract this type of pinata so that the other one will come out and go try to eat it.
My answer is the same for both questions. I forget the name of the thing, but it was the red banana. It might just be called the red nanner.
I think it was.
Yeah, so dumb name, but I'm willing to forgive it. But this one just lives in the trees.
A Benopper, red Benopper.
Red Benopper, and it leaps from tree to tree screaming Benopper as it goes in a very sort of charming.
They obey Pokemon
voice.
rules.
Yes.
They can only say their name.
And in order to catch it, you sort of have to get it in this moment of transit between tree to tree. But you just listen for its, telltale call, and you can manage the catch.
Is this a Pokemon reference, you think?
I mean,
do you think they're making commentary on Pokemon?
Yeah, but you don't eat Pokemon,
True.
I assume. What do the humans in the Pokemon world eat?
Pokemon.
Is it? Is that what they're eating? There aren't any non-Pokemon animals.
No. Look, we know what milk they're drinking.
That's true, because you can drink Miltank milk.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. I don't like that. Like, imagine eating like a Mr. Mime. Like, that's basically a person.
Tastes funny.
It's got to be weird when the Mr. Mime's sitting at your table and it's like, it's been a long winter.
Oh, no.
Look, some people are Pokemon photographers, some people are Pokemon trainers, some people are Pokemon breeders, and some people are Pokemon farmers.
Mm-hmm.
And they feed the other ones so that they can live their highfalutin lives.
Well, that got weird.
Sorry. Damn, what is your favorite of these it makes more sense when you've played this game for a while.
Yeah. I've been scrolling through the list trying to think of one I would like as a friend. And I'm not sure any of them are that good. Maybe a Quookie, which is a little Oreo spider, which is very fast, and you have to trip it up in order to actually catch it. That one is the one that you turn teeth into Oreos. Who else? Also a Crapple. Which
is a terrible name.
Which has a terrible name, but it's very cute. It does look like it could be a Pokemon. It's just a bunch of apple slices in the shape of a crab.
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
What do you think, Gino?
There are a lot of good ones that I like. I loved the Cinnasnail.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cinnamon roll that is kind of unrolled at the end into a snail.
Maybe the tastiest one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I like the Charmallow, which is basically a s'more that flies around. Its wings are graham crackers, its body is chocolate, its body is marshmallow, and then its legs are chocolate bars.
Mm-hmm.
And I also really enjoyed the Bunger, which is a burger with curly fries for legs and like 2 curly fries for like horns, because it runs around going bunger 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 bunger.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so dumb. It's such a dumb animal. Such a dumb Bugsnax. I just really appreciated its constant sound. So in terms of interactions, Pete, you mentioned you kind of have to catch the Benopper jumping out. Did you see any cool interactions with the Bugsnax in terms of them attacking each other or doing stuff?
There's like is it the rib one that charges if you hit it with hot sauce?
I think
there's so many of these puzzles.
The rib one does. Oh man, I forgot about Mothra Supreme.
Yeah, that was the other one I was gonna Like,
It's a giant flying pizza.
just a big pizza flying around.
I think the ribipede, it follows sauce. I don't think it charges you.
Okay, because there's one if you hit with hot sauce, it gets angry and charges you. Maybe it was one of the crabs, and you can get it to run into other Bugsnax to sort of stun them.
I really enjoyed. Did any of you catch a pinkle?
A pinkle.
Pinkle? I don't think so.
It's a jar of pickles.
Oh no, I definitely didn't capture any jars.
So it's a jar of pickles. If you get near it, the pickles go in the jar. So the jar is kind of the head, and then the pickles are legs.
Wait,
One-
but is it like a turtle situation, or are the legs disconnected from the jar?
They are floating and disconnected from
That
the
is-
jar.
The creepiest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, well, it's about to get creepier. So as you play through this game, you get access to more and more tools to catch the Bugsnax. At first, it's just a trap. Then you get a sauce shooter. It's basically a slingshot that shoots sauce, which grows on trees in this world. You'll get a grappling hook. You get a launch pad. You get a little strabby, which is a strawberry with legs, in a hamster wheel that you can control with a laser pointer, which is maybe the most adorable of the tools. And then there's like a tripwire that you can deploy. When you get the grappling hook, you can grapple the pinkle to steal its jar, and then it's just floating eyes and 4 pickles running around horrified.
Oh my god, I don't like any of that.
And then you can capture it. And if you throw its jar head somewhere, the rest of it will be attracted to it. And so that's how you catch it. You put a trap by its body. So speaking of that being horrifying, when did you start to think something was a little weird here? And maybe the genre wasn't family-friendly Pokemon game, and instead was horror.
So, honestly, the part that got me, again, this came early, right? Like, their limbs change, and there's no indication, one, that they're going to change back soon, and two,
Or at all.
yeah, or at all, and two, no one is upset.
Yeah. They make
No
it
one cares.
They make it sound as if it's gonna wear off, and then it never does, which is very strange. It is a nagging concern the entire game.
Especially for ones that eat a lot of Bugsnax, because they start running out of things to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, the moment I thought, okay, this is going someplace bad, is when you meet Wambus for the first time. He's a sauce farmer, and he's trying to grow food as well. All he can get to grow is sauce. But when you first happen upon his farm, if you look closely, there are a bunch of lumps of soil with eyes sticking out, and he's put little signs like Strabby and what that Pingle, the pickle thing. He's put signs by them, and there's like a jar half buried in sand. And he appears to have just buried the Bugsnax alive to try and grow more of them. And I was
none
like,
of it works, by the
no.
way.
No, and the eyes are just unblinking out of the ground. That was a pretty big giveaway that something seemed up. Also, did you go in the tent with the archaeologist?
Oh.
Yeah, she's a
Yeah.
sketchy lady.
Triffany?
Yeah, the mass grave that she uncovers.
Yeah, so Pete, why don't you tell me about the mass grave?
Oh god. All right. So, I didn't basically understand all her logic because again, she seems mostly unconcerned with what she's discovered. But it's basically a mass grave in which they sent Grumpuses and then just sealed it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are living Grumpuses they put in a cave and then just sealed it and left them to die.
And there was another alarming part about the Grumpus skeletons that she wanted to get to the bottom of, which was that the Grumpus skeletons all had bones in their stomachs.
Yep.
And she's like, I wonder what bug snack they ate to put these bones in their stomach. Maybe it's the rib bug snack, the ribipede.
Nope.
It's more like a McRibipede. No bones.
No bones. Wonder where those bones came from. Oh well.
She does just sort of gloss over it. And there's a time later on where you talk to her, and she's like, yeah, our family archaeology style is a little unconventional. It's like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah, so that was pretty upsetting. Also, when Filbo, like every time you get a certain number of Grumpuses to come back to town, Filbo will like try to throw a party to make everyone stop hating each other so much, because they all hate each other a lot. Like Gramble,
And hate Filbo.
and they hate Filbo.
Yeah.
Like Gramble, he's running a like basically Bugsnax sanctuary, and he's across the street from Wambus, who wants to eat all Bugsnax and bury them alive so that he can figure out how to farm them. So they get at each other's throats all the time. Like Bethica does not like Cromdo because Cromdo's a fucking creep.
I'm sorry. Even said, I want to circle back to Wambus just for a second.
Yes.
Like, what's his logic? Like, burying these bug snacks alive should grow more bug snacks. Like, these are basically animals, right? Like, if you bury a chicken, you don't get more chickens.
I just love
But
that
they're also food.
I guess, yeah.
So if you go down his side quest line, I went a little bit down it. Like first he wants you to catch a Strabby. He wants a root and a fruit. So you can catch a Strabby and a carrot worm, whatever the hell the carrot worm's name is. And you bury them, and then there's just 2 lumps of bug snack. Then he's like, I know what the problem is. There's not good enough soil. Can you go get a mashed potato bug snack and feed it to Filbo? And I was like, okay, sure. And he's like, okay, good. You've done that? Perfect. Now go collect the soil that he made in the outhouse.
What?
I mean, night soil was used as fertilizer, I guess.
Yes, he tells you to go get Filbo's night soil and apply it to the buried bug snacks whose eyes are staring right at you. Ugh. Yeah, so Wambus's storyline, he just keeps trying. Look, he's got a hammer and everything looks like nails. And his hammer is farming. Yeah, so those things are off-putting, and when Filbo throws his party the second time, they start saying how they think that they've seen like shifty figures in the distance following him around and like vanishing. Eventually, like someone infiltrates their party and writes no more bug snacks, and it becomes like a investigation game. You need to find clues. I think by this point it's pretty clear something's up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a shady island.
Did we figure out who was responsible for that?
We do.
Yeah, by the
at
end.
the very end.
We do.
Is it
We
at
do.
the very end?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
The
okay.
very, very end. So, you keep bringing more people in, and each of them has something off-putting to say. Did you do any of the side quests, Pete? So I mentioned the Wambus ones. Did you do any of Bethica's side quests?
No, I didn't really do much of the side content. I sort of wanted to
fair.
get to the bottom of what the fuck was up with the island.
You know what? Honestly, that was good. That was wise of you. Bethica's are mostly just like, hey, go spy on people. So she'll ask like, hey, what's Wambus doing in the middle of the night? And then that's how you find out about his cactus wife. If
Oh,
you
I
go
did.
visit him
Okay,
at
I'm
midnight.
sorry. I did do
I think-
Cactus Wife.
I think you have to do that one.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the main
Okay.
plot.
Yeah, that's to get her to go back to town. She needs some
Right.
juicy dirt.
So the second one was like, what does Wiggle do at night? And
What
she
does
goes
Wiggle do at night?
she goes to Gramble's bug snack sanctuary and eats bug snacks while he's sleepwalking.
Oh
But, like-
no!
They're kind of almost an item.
Yeah, and she just while he's sleepwalking, because he sleepwalks around town at night, she just goes in and eats them.
But he's not gonna like that.
He is not
No.
gonna like that at all.
She also asked me to figure out what Cromdo does, but I at that point was like, something's wrong here. I think she also
Something
asked me
is
to get her like
strange.
potato chips or something, and I was like, I'll get you a chip, but I don't know. Yeah, like Gramble wants you to get more of his little ones, and like he'll give you missions to train them. So you can like train one of the Queepies, the little Kiwis, to follow your Strabby in a ball. Like that's what a lot of his side quests are. Triffany, I think, just wanted me to get. Oh, she wants to like investigate the island. So you can take her to locations and she'll be like, okay, get me this type of bug snack to eat, and then also find me this kind of ruin. And then she'll kind of hypothesize about the inhabitants of the island and their cultures. Yeah, so like they're interesting side quests, but I would say the driving force for me personally was what the fuck is happening?
Why is any of this happening?
Yeah, so Pete, spoilers for Bugsnax.
Yeah.
But this is how this show works. Pete, what
Yeah.
happens when we discover? So, and also every time you interview one of these characters, you get a clue that kind of moves you towards the final conclusion here. You eventually get to the icy peak. You find a cave. You find Eggabell, who is Lizbert's partner, and she tells you like, "Hey, I need to find Lizbert." And there's also like unsettling clues about Eggabell becoming more and more snackified over time, and her feeling like she's holding Lizbert back. Like there's interpersonal drama between all of these grumps. But the big thing is there's this big cave, and Pete, what happens if you go in the cave?
Oh man. So the first thing you need
What's
to
in the
know,
cave?
the first thing you need to know about Snackburg is it's bug snacks all the way down. The whole island is bug snacks. So you go in this cave and you find what once was and
Well-
still is the famed explorer Lizbert.
Lizbert Megafig.
Lizbert
You also
Mega-
find, like, when you say that it's bug snacks, I mean, like, there are tubes, and the walls are, like, ham and strawberry and watermelon just in all directions, and some sort of horrible viscous goo by your feet. And Philbo's like, this stuff's disgusting, but I kind of want to eat it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the whole island's bug snacks. And
There's an
Liz-
eye sticking out of the wall, and it follows you.
and Lizbert has transformed into a giant cake monster with crab legs and a big long, I think, sushi neck
A sushi neck.
that she's attached to the end of. And you find out that eating bug snacks aren't really bug snacks. They're parasites. And they change your body and they change your brain to make you want to eat more bug snacks. And eventually, if you eat enough, you just become bug snacks.
You become more bug snack than grump, and
Yeah.
then you I assume just fall into a pile of bug snacks
Yeah,
that scurry away.
yeah. My guess is this is how they reproduce. They're basically viruses that take over your body and make it into a bug snack factory.
Yeah, and M, you were asking who did that with the party. So like when someone breaks into the party and writes no more bug snacks, Lizbert tells you when the bug snacks forced themselves down her throat and were trying to transform her into a bug snack, she said they wanted to make me into them, but I made them into me. And then
Whoa.
she forms a bug snack golem.
Yeah. And let's pause just for a second on that transformation story. So Lizbert realized that the bug snacks were dangerous. They're parasites. So the bug snacks reacted by holding her down and jamming themselves down her throat.
Yeah.
Horrifying.
Yeah. So as you and the bug snack golem she summons, she said like it's got eyes and it is about as tall as a grumpus, and she said the only thing I can't get them to do is talk, because bug snacks can't talk. But they look like a Grumpus, and then when they're seen, they scatter into Bugsnax.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's basically,
Does it?
3 Bugsnax in a trench
Does it make
coat.
sense?
Does any of this make sense?
Yes, a dark kind of sense.
I mean, it makes sense as far as like the story of like the Bugsnax queen that someone's going on about. Is it Wiggle? I think it's Wiggle.
Yeah, Wiggle.
Someone
Takes
is
the bugs.
obsessed with the Bugsnax queen. That's probably what she saw.
Yeah. Yeah, so it turns out Lizbert's the Bugsnax queen, and she's holding the island together. The island is mad that all of these Grumpuses are still on it and have not been snackified. It's also, I think, fair to assume that the bones in the skeleton Grumpuses are the bones of people who are only partially snackified, right?
Yeah, I assume so. Or like that the Grumpuses ate each other.
They just ate
Yeah.
each other,
Yeah.
hmm
and there
That
was some
seems to
bone.
be what's implied.
Yeah. So like that's what's going on there. Nightmarish.
So here's my hypothesis, right? So those Grumpuses realized what was going on, and they didn't want to become.
Oh no!
So they sealed themselves in the tomb, and then at that point, their only chance for survival was cannibalism. That's my guess.
That's a good guess. I would also say maybe they became more snackified and started getting a taste for Bugsnax, and other Grumpuses are partially Bugsnax, so they started trying to eat other Grumpuses, and so they
Yeah.
sealed them away, and then
That's
they
fair
ate each
too.
other.
Sure.
It's all bad.
Yeah, there's nothing good here.
No, there's no good to be found. But yeah, it's horrifying. And then the final escape, you weaponize all of the tools that you used to catch Bugsnax, and you're forced to like save pairs of Grumpuses using these tools to now kill the Bugsnax. So like the grappling hook, instead of now grappling, it's got a boxing glove on the end, so it's like a first-person shooter. Or like the Strabby in a ball now has spines on it, and you run it into other Bugsnax to kill them. And if you don't kill the Bugsnax, they force themselves down your friends' throats. And the more side quests you do, the more they ask you to feed them Bugsnax to pass the side quests, the more snackified they are to start. So it becomes much harder to save all of the Grumpuses the more you listen to them and feed them.
So basically, the game punishes you for playing more of it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
it does.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, so Pete, did you save everyone?
I did, but I didn't do any of the side quests, so it was easier.
Yeah, I lost Cromdo and Chandlo, unfortunately. I did a Chandlo side
Aw.
quest.
Not Chandlo.
Oh no, I lost Snorpy. I saved Chandlo. I lost
Oh,
Snorpy.
all right, fine. Fuck Snorpy.
Yeah, because
But-
Snorpy asks a lot, and he starts pretty fucked up.
But how could you get rid of Chandlo or get rid of Snorpy and save Chandlo? They're in a-
Chandlo's sad
They're in a
about it.
relationship.
They're
Chandler's
meant
sad
for
about
each
it.
other.
Yeah.
Although Snorpy didn't realize they were dating.
Yeah.
I do love that.
That dialogue is my favorite in the entire game.
Dude, we made out
Yeah.
in my room.
Don't you
And I asked you to
remember
move in.
We've
Dude,
been dating for years.
2 years.
Oh man.
Yeah, so like you can lose characters in the end there, and they will become snackified. Snorpy said the only way to save my sweet Chandlo is to die. Goodbye, my love. And then he dissolves into Bugsnax.
Okay.
And Cromdo is like, that's enough. I'm gonna eat these things. They're delicious. And then he dissolves. He
Mhm.
goes out like a punk.
Is this? I'm like it. I hesitate to try to apply any themes to Bugsnax because
Please do.
it's chaos. But is this supposed to be an addiction narrative?
Yes.
Kinda?
Like they're addicted to Bugsnax and it ultimately destroys them?
Yeah.
Or is it like a junk food thing? Like we're all addicted to junk food and it'll destroy us?
I think it's a meta narrative, a meta game narrative. Like,
Like
hey,
game
what if
fiction?
no, like,
You-
what if we took, just like a commentary, like, what if we took the aesthetics of a Viva Pinata or a Pokemon and made it as sinister as sometimes those games are implied to be?
Okay.
Mhm.
Do you
Like-
remember, like, for a quick second, there was this issue with YouTube where, like, just algorithm accounts were taking
Oh,
very
yeah.
popular video, like Peppa Pig for kids and stuff, and just
Mhm.
smashing them into these weird, disturbing hybrid things?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Bugsnax.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Bugsnax is taking. Look, when I beat a Horstachio to death with a Pinata bat in Viva Pinata, that's kind of fucked up. This game's like, what if we went all the way with it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
What if we took, when the pinata explodes into candy and then you feed that pinata candy to another pinata to make it happier?
You feed pinata entrails to another pinata.
What if we made it explicitly horrifying instead of the implicit horror that's there? And I think that's what they were going for here. Just like, and this also, I think, ties into a more modern style of kind of horror game design where you hide the horror game behind a friendlier genre. Your Doki Doki's Literature Club, your Inscription.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
That checks out.
You take a genre that is not, or Pony Island is another good example. Like there's a lot of games that start out, I guess, super hot to a certain degree. Like you take a game.
Or isn't there a weird twist in Hotiful Boyfriend too?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, if you follow
Kinda.
certain paths.
Sure.
Yeah, there are horrifying.
I mean, it's
options.
already horrifying, but
Mhm.
gets more horrifying.
Yes. So like I think this takes that idea of what if we took a genre that felt safe and then made the game fucked up in some way, where it reveals itself in the back half. What if we did that with Pokemon Snap?
Mhm.
And I guess question for you: how do you feel as a designer about that kind of bait and switch?
So
Do you think it's played out now? Do you think it still works?
I feel like there's definitely a subgenre for it. It's hard to define it because it's like you can't know going into it, but you kind of have to know in order to have a genre about it. Um, I think that people are still going to be making games like have this surprise twist at the end, regardless of if it's played out or not. The question is like, will they still land, and or how horrifying will it be when it actually happens?
Yeah, like I think Doki Doki Literature Club and playing games like that have now desensitized me to where as soon as Filbo's arm turned to strawberries or I found the eyes in the medical tent, like there's just a stack of eyes taken off of Bugsnax in a like tray. As soon as I saw that stuff, I was like, oh, this is a horror game. Like
We're
I
gonna get
opened up the
weird.
treasure chest and there were eyes in there.
Yep. Yeah.
I think games like this, not Doki Doki necessarily, but a game like Bugsnax has a certain time limit too, because it's almost like a weaponized nostalgia.
Mhm.
So like you need that already nostalgic property, the sort of like Pokemon Snap, catch 'em all sort of idea, in order to then weaponize it. So I guess every generation has their own nostalgia, but you have to time it to that nostalgic moment.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would love to see a reversal of this now. Like take a traditionally horror aesthetic and make it actually totally fine and fun. Like someone
Just-
take Five Nights at Freddy's and be like, "No, actually the bear's super cool." Like
But you just have a nice time for 5 days.
I was just thinking like you fill Mario Party with a stupid amount of fog.
Mhm.
that would also be funny.
while while we're on sort of game design questions, I also wanted to ask you about something I was thinking about.
Hmm.
So this game has a bunch of character model options,
Oh yeah.
right? So if you take like a basic Grumpus, you can feed it, some crazy stupid amount of Bugsnax for each individual body part that will
Mhm.
then change. And I was wondering how difficult it would be to do that. Like if you have to just brute force and make all the possible combinations, that would
So
seem impossible.
I was thinking about this. As we're talking about it, I'm going through the Bugsnax wiki, and they actually have a page for snackification, and you can see like a character fully snackified, and there's like, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, at least 10 different parts. And each leg is 2 parts, so fucking a lot of parts. Like 20 parts, let's say. And each character is a different height, and they have their own sort of aesthetic. God, the teeth can change, the hair can change, the ears, literally everything can be snackified. I thought that there was a way you could do this where it was like pretty simple, and you would just, I mean, I know how they do it. Each body part is like a rectangular, yeah, it's a rectangular piece, and then they apply just like a, a mesh over top of it whenever you change it to something else. So if you make it into like nuts, let's say, because I have the Driftity turned into nuts open, then it will just like replace the model that was originally there with this prefab that they've created. But in order to make like, how many characters are there? 15 or so, I want to say.
Yeah.
There's 12 villagers, and I think, yeah, it seems like there's 12 times 20. It's a lot of, and also there's 100 Bugsnax. So
Dear God.
by doing some quick math, that would have to mean that 12 characters with 20 body parts, 100 different options, something like 2,400 permutations. It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I bet getting the bits, each of the bits to look right was a pretty consequential amount of the work.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't want to do this.
No, it's a ludicrous undertaking.
It's a lot of work for what is essentially like, let's make a weird horror game, but also, I guess they had a bunch of money from making Octodad.
Yeah,
Did Octodad make money?
yeah, I think it did.
That hurts me. That hurt.
When
that
you got that
hurts me.
Octodad money,
That was such a windfall.
Uh-huh. You don't think it deserved the critical acclaim on Octodad?
I mean, it gets like a quick nod and a thumbs up from me.
Mhm.
That's what I would contribute to it.
take all your Octodad cash and invest it in Bugsnax.
Yeah. Real quick, while we're talking about this, I wanted to mention the weird dissonance with the game mechanics, because while you are feeding Bugsnax to people, there is no actual like problem solving benefit to this, which I realized way early on. I was like, your leg turned into a carrot. Does that make you like run faster or anything?
No.
No.
Probably not.
Philbo, your arm is a spirally fry. Will that like help you dig or something?
No.
Nope. There's no This is not a help me
There.
solve a problem with by eating Bugsnax.
There is one exception.
Is there?
Yeah, when you turn Sales Grumpus's feet into popsicles,
Oh yeah.
so he can walk across the desert.
He says that's what it's for. I don't know if there's
Yeah.
any actual
No.
like help. Actually,
probably
that feels like
bullshit.
it would be the opposite because
Yeah, they melt.
they would melt.
Yeah, he's probably full of shit, but he does say that.
I hate looking at these fully snackified
Yeah,
Grumpuses.
right? It's very upsetting.
I didn't realize you could
Yeah.
do this to them.
Yep. You could go all the way.
They keep living.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the game, do they just die instantly then?
I would assume so.
When the horror spooky times come, do they just instantly...
Just collapse, probably.
Probably. Oh boy, someone turned you into ice cream sandwiches. Oh no.
So there is one more story beat we have to cover.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When you get back to civilization, you're instantly fired from your journalism job, and you're also presumed dead, so you need to fix that. But you find out that this was actually part of some sort of massive, it's the Illuminati, whatever they were called.
The Grumpinati.
The Grumpinati. They know about Bugsnax, and they don't want the secret to get out. And they have two very sinister Latin phrases that they say to each other. I can't remember the Latin, but the rough translation is, everything is Bugsnax, and you are what you eat. Which both true.
A mysterious voice says, "Tu quid edus," which
That's
is you
right.
are what you eat.
Yep.
And then Clumby, your boss, replies, "Omne vivium ex Bugsnax."
Everything alive is Bugsnax. Or
Yep.
everything alive out of Bugsnax.
Mm-hmm. All life comes from Bugsnax.
Yeah, there we go.
Which is a weird thing to stake your like evil secret cult on, I think.
Yeah, Bugsnax will come for us all. They're not going to spare you.
There's also a song that plays at the end by Caro Caro Bonito called "It's Bugsnax," which was also the reveal, like the trailer video.
Oh yeah,
song.
What's the lyrics to that song, Gino?
So, the title is "It's Bugsnax," IT''S Bugsnax, and in the chorus they say, "Come to Snacktooth Island and discover it's Bugsnax." So, ''S, Pete.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they're telling you right out the gate.
Discover it is Bugsnax.
It is.
It is Bugsnax, indeed.
I was like, oh, discover it's Bugsnax, the Bugsnax that live on the island.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not what the grammar means.
Nope. The island is Bugsnax.
Apparently, on the wiki, they also have mentioned a scrapped ending, which is the villagers were going to turn into zombies and then try to eat you. So, I guess the ones that were more turned would have become like zombies. So that would have been fun, but also hard to make.
Yeah. So this game's a horror game. It's in our horror game of the year nominations.
Very frightening.
Mm-hmm.
Very. But I think that's all I have to discuss about Bugsnax. I'm done talking about Bugsnax.
I think we've unpacked a lot here.
Mm-hmm.
Pete, I believe it's your turn to pick once again.
It is my turn.
Okay, go right ahead.
Okay, so I thought we'd do, it's the holiday season. We all, might be a little bit busy. So I thought I'd pick one that's simple, pretty short, very cute. I promise there's no body horror lurking behind it.
Liar.
I think.
Please.
I haven't played the game yet, but I think there's no body horror. I want to play Webbed.
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 What are you? Is this on Steam?
Yep, here is the little synopsis. Swing through the trees, spin sticky webs, and make friends with bugs. Be the adorable spider you've always wanted to be.
This game said I would be friends with bugs.
I know. No, I'm sticking with bugs. But again, like I said, this one's
look at it.
cute. Yep.
Aw.
So I thought this would be a nice, sort of simple, kind of straightforward game where we could play it and learn something about alien epistemology. One of my favorite ideas.
Look at him.
I think I saw this game being developed, actually.
Nice.
It's got, like, neat little web slinging.
Yep. And the Spider-Man movie just came out. It's in the zeitgeist.
It's so topical.
Yeah.
True.
And look, it's got bionic commando swinging mechanics.
Yeah, hopefully, you didn't have to murder, your wife to get them.
What if you did, though?
It'd be a twist.
All right. Well, next up, we are playing Webbed. We are going to be spiders. We will embrace our inner spider. All right. Well, thank you, Pete.
Yeah, thank you, Gino, for forcing me to play arguably the weirdest game we've played this year.
I think it's well, we played Tales from Off-Peak City, so
Played a lot of weird stuff.
we did. Thank you, M.
Thank you. This was certainly a interesting one. We'll see if it is the most horrific game we played this year fairly soon.
We will. And thank you to our listeners. Reminder, you can get in touch with the show at DeepListensPod on Twitter, deeplistens.libsyn.com. We have our comment sections and deeplistenspodcast at gmail.com. You can also support the show on patreon.com/deeplistens. Until next time, peace.